Hey guys, I'm back, and here's a knife I teased a little while ago. I showed just for a brief second. This knife comes to me in this channel from a really great guy. Awesome fellow YouTuber. One-time outdoor DJ Rainer. He hasn't put out his own videos lately. He's going through some personal stuff. But he was nice enough to lend me this knife to take a look at and to mess with and to just marvel at. Some of you might know what this thing is. Some of you might not. It is an amazing piece. What you're looking at right here, if you don't know, is the Terävä Jääkäripuukko 140. It has a little brother, the 110, the 140, and that's the size of the blade, 140 millimeters. It's a Scandi grind. It's a kind of a hybrid design of a classic Puukko knife. And if you're not familiar with Puukko knives, it's a and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's a Finnish style bushcraft kind of knife. It's amazing. It is, I like fancy stuff. I do. But the beauty of this knife is its sheer simplicity. And look at it. It is a very, very simple knife, but it is strong. It is sturdy. It is amazing. It's a fairly unique steel. And you know what it does 110% of the time? It cuts. It cuts and it cuts and it cuts. This is made to survive and be beaten and be abused, but it cuts and it cuts and it cuts. And you take a look at this one. It has survived and it has been abused, but it cuts and it cuts and it cuts. And we're inside now, but we're going to end up taking it outside and we're going to do a little testing with it. This one came to me used. I haven't done any maintenance on the blade. I have just messed with it. And we're going to talk a little bit about how you can get it. We're going to talk about this custom sheath by Yellowhawk Customs, because this is not the original sheath that this knife comes with. We'll get into that. I haven't even done a paper test on this yet. Let's just see how well this holds an edge, because I haven't messed with it at all. And I know that DJ has not babied this knife. I know that he has actually used it. Like, this is his, look at this knife. Look at the use on this knife. This is a knife that he uses for actual wilderness activity. And this steel, and I'm going to put it in the text, but the steel on this knife, and I've never encountered this steel before, it's 80 CR V2 steel. I can tell you for a fact this will rust. The rust will clean off easily. And that's because when I had it out in the snow for that little blurb of a video, I set it down. And high carbon still rusts, and it did get some rusty spots. It cleaned off. You can't see a trace of any of it. It cleaned off very, very easily. But the edge itself, I haven't done anything with. So let's get into the knife itself. Let's just look at it, because I really want to get outside and I want to mess with it a little bit on camera. But I want to talk about what we've got here and what he sent me to take a look at. So the knife itself, like I said already, this is the 140. Now, this company, Terävä, they have knives of similar design with different blade styles. I love this one because it's kind of like, it's Mora-esque, but it's also, a lot thicker than a Mora. It's, like I said, blade steel that a Mora would never use. That Scandi grind is just a great grind for, bushcraft and being out in the woods and doing whatever you want. 140 millimeters works out to about 5.5 inches, give or take. But you can see you've got plenty of blade here to do whatever you want. Now, I imagine if you had the 110, that would also be plenty of blade to do anything you needed with as well. This knife, completely designed and made in Finland, so, home of the Puukko. Just a little trivia for you. Terävä, the company name, that means sharp in Finnish. Yeah, I looked this up. Jääkäri is a name of the Finnish infantry, and then Puukko is that classic Finnish knife. So basically this means sharp infantry knife is what this the whole name means. This is not an issued Finnish military weapon. It's just, that's what they chose to name the knife. So, if you were to get this thing brand new, you would get to choose either a plastic liner that you could build your own sheath around, or a kind of really nice leather sheath. And the price really changes depending on whether or not you choose to get the leather sheath or you choose to get just the plastic liner and make your own sheath. It's about a $20, $30 difference. I'm going to put the price for if you were to get the leather sheath, because not everybody makes their own sheath. You know, fresh from the factory, this has a nice blackened coating on the flats here. It's a hard rubberized handle. I mean, and this is really grippy. It's very comfortable. Just right. I mean, in my giant hands, it fits very comfortably, very nicely. I really like it. No jimping or anything else. I mean, but you really don't need anything else to get a really good grip on this knife. Shipping, only about $10 shipping to the United States. It really, you know, does favorably compare. The original knife with the original sheath from the original company, from Terävä. Now, I don't know how long, honestly, shipping takes and how long you'd have to wait to get one as compared to something else. But kind of when I was looking at it, it reminded me a little bit of the Ontario Spec Plus Army Air Force survival knife. Only in construction only. Similar size. This has a 1095 carbon steel blade, not the kind of pretty cool 80 CR blade. You've got your firm rubber handle. They both have a lanyard hole towards the pommel, and weight is similar. This one's a little lighter. This is more of a survival knife style. You know, obviously it's more of a Bowie clip point blade. You know, as this has the Scandi grind. But I was kind of looking for a similar American-made knife to compare it to, and construction-wise, this kind of fits it. But you know, again, they're built the same but different. Price-wise, though, they're very, very similar. I love, you know, I just, there's a certain feel to this knife that this more military-style knife doesn't have. Now, DJ chose to go a different route than using the original leather sheath. I've heard from some people that the leather sheath that comes with the knife originally is just top-notch. It's awesome. DJ chose to go with the custom Kydex by Yellow Hawk Customs. And I've been on the website, so I can't give you an actual price as to how much this particular sheath costs, because they can give you a ballpark, but, you know, it's custom. Everything's custom. You start with the sheath, and then you add on all of your items. So, for example, number one, it is perfectly fit. I mean, it is solid as a rock. No rattle in this whatsoever. They really know what they're doing when they make their sheaths. You've got your big leather belt loop for carrying, and they also include a tech lock that you can move around a little bit. So, you know, you get multiple carry options on how you want to carry this knife, which I like. I might even, if I was carrying this, might even take this off and just go with the tech lock. You know, he chose the black and purple, like that's totally, again, customizable. Some of the options that you can choose from Yellow Hawk, so the small flashlight holder, the ferro rod holder with a little compass, and it comes with all these accessories. So, you know, I was looking on the website, you don't just buy the ferro rod holder, it comes with like the holder and the rod. You know what, DJ, I noticed that this was a little tough getting the flashlight in and out. I hope you don't mind. I took a Dremel and I made a small modification on that for you to help you out, because the flashlight was getting stuck a lot of the time. But it comes with a flashlight. If we can get the camera to focus. Comes with a little Phoenix. Nice bright little flashlight there for you. And again, it has the elastic that locks it in, so it's not going anywhere. Same thing with your ferro rod, complete with compass. And you can take this compass off of here if you want, but it's just a nice little compass. And since he has already struck this rod, I'm going to use the knife to strike it, you know, when we test it outside. If it was a brand new rod, I wouldn't do that. And then on the back here, which is pretty cool, it's got a provision for a little tinder box. And he's got some live fire tinder ready to go in here. So, you know, and there's, I just looked around the website just a little bit to get a sense. There's all sorts of options you can choose. Everything is completely custom, and this sheath is phenomenal, you know. So there's nothing wrong with the leather sheath. They make great sheaths that come with the knife. This is just what he chose to go with. This will add to the price of the knife significantly, though. I did notice that they have a package where they sell a sheath. Now, I don't know what options it comes with, but with the knife for $189. You can get the 140 on the Terävä website. I mean, just base level knife for $31.99, or with a sheath for $58.99. But that gives you an idea of, you know, how expensive the custom sheath is that they sell it with the knife for $189. So it's something you can look at, you know, if you're interested. Not everybody is. Some people are just very happy to have a nice leather sheath that it comes with. But what I really want to do, and you know, I did a paper test. I didn't do this, which it's like cutting nothing. The edge on this, and I don't know how. I mean, clearly it's very used, but man, it's a gorgeous edge. I want to take it outside, and I want to do some stuff with it. I really just some basic cutting with it. I want to get it in my hand. I want to use this really bad. I don't think I mentioned this before, but 90-degree spine for striking ferro rods while you're out there. Also, solid, you know, if you need to baton this through some stuff. But let me get set. Let's go outside and let's cut some stuff. So let's start with just basic, you know, cutting. Yeah. Awesome. I mean, just strips this right off. If we need to make a fire tonight. It's a little bit wet because it's damp out here, but we dry this stuff off. This is going to start a beautiful fire. Look at how thin that stuff is. It's awesome. I mean, if we actually needed to maybe cut some notches to make some traps. And this is just, it's like a knife through butter. This is awesome. If we wanted to split this. Now what we couldn't do is hit right down on there, but you know what? Just by working it with a little bit of force. I mean, this is practically cutting itself. Look at that. Splits right through it. It's awesome. Just for the hell of it, what if we wanted to chop this up? Damn. This just makes super quick, short work out of anything we throw at it. So if we wanted to use this now, I don't know, since we got sort of a point going. One thing I will say, the 110 might be a little bit easier for doing some fine work, like making a little spear right here. A little bit more wieldy, but the 140 is doing just fine. I mean, this thing is amazingly sharp. I don't feel any loss of the edge at all, just with these little tests. I mean, this is a good half-inch piece of wood, and it's chopping straight through it. We could, I feel confident, use this to split this here if we really wanted to. I mean, it just goes right through. And this is a kind of a wet piece right here, but still, this is, I mean, just an awesome blade. I love this blade. I am absolutely going to have to get myself one of these. I might get a 110 instead of a 140, but that's the only difference. This thing is awesome. I love this blade. Dying to see how this rod does, because this is the one that Yellowhawk Customs puts in the sheath. Not a bad rod. Be totally honest though, I feel like the little rod on the Leatherman Signal actually made bigger, brighter sparks than this big rod did, but you know, as long as it starts a fire, that's all that matters. So again, I don't think I've ever encountered this particular kind of steel, but it is amazingly sharp. Holds an edge like none other. Just because I have this out here from a previous test. Like nothing. Freaking awesome. Now I'm just having fun with this thing. I mean, we're not actually testing anymore. I'm just having fun with it. DJ, I cannot thank you enough for sending me this to look at, review, and mess with. So, that's why we've got a few things, not just one thing, but a few things coming back to you in order to say thanks. Now, I hope you don't mind me putting this out on the channel, but recently somebody basically stole DJ's whole collection, which sucks. Any of us that have some prized items, knives especially, can understand how that hurts. So number one, here's what I'm doing for you, DJ. This guy clearly has gone through some use with you and is important to you. I want it to continue to go through use with you and survive with you for many, 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 many more camping trips. So I'm going to take this to the shop. We are going to give this a premium Cerakote finish so that it is completely corrosion resistant from here on out. One thing I did notice about this blade, this steel, is that as awesome as it is at holding an edge, it does rust a little bit. You don't want it to do that to you ever again. So I'm going to Cerakote this bad boy for you so it is 100% protected from here on out in the future. That is surprise number one. Well, we're back inside now, and I figured that was not a lot of abuse, but let's see how it cuts now. Ethan thinks this is pretty funny. It is still slicing away. I mean, just slicing away. Great steel. Love it. I'm going to get this all cleaned up and get ready to take it over to the shop and get it dressed. So this is just finished. Darren just handed it back to me. Take a look. This is graphite black Cerakote. Look at that gorgeous coating. I wish you guys could actually feel the coating, because it's one thing to look at it. My hands are a little bit oily right now from working on something else. But this is so smooth and so amazing. What a great coating. And this is going to be super durable. It's going to protect this knife forever and ever and ever. It's great. It's phenomenal. And, you know, you can still feel that edge under there. All I got to do is a tiny bit of honing to bring that super edge back out. And this guy is going to be ready to cut and slash and chop and everything else again like it was new. Except this time, fully protected from all the elements and ready for anything. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous coating. It's like, it's just flawless. Look at it. So all finished, this knife is awesome. I was going to go ahead and I already went to order myself a 110, but they're kind of on back order right now, so I'll wait a couple weeks till they're available, but I definitely want one for myself. This steel is amazing. The coating is great. I really like it, and I hope DJ is happy with it. I'm sure he will be. You can see now that I've put the edge back on. The only exposed steel we have is just that very fine edge there where it's going to cut. It will still strike a rod there, no problem, just fine. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to let DJ break that in because that is going to mess with the coating a little bit over time. Spent a little bit of time putting that edge back on, making it just as fine as it was. It's ready to go, ready to cut, ready to get back in the field and do everything he needs to do with it. So this guy is definitely gorgeous, ready to go. One of the other things that I'm sending back DJ's way is a custom Benchmade Griptilian 550. I know that DJ has wanted a Griptilian for quite some time, and I figured if I'm going to send one back, why go ordinary? So I know you guys have really asked to see more actual projects in the shop. I've got a video coming out very, very shortly on the making of this. Complete custom, down to the liners and everything. And it's, you know, a project I've done before, but I think you guys will enjoy seeing it. Lightweight, took 2 full ounces off of this thing by getting rid of the steel liners and working completely G10, and I'll talk more about that in the video that's coming up. With a pocket wave opener and everything, so I think it's pretty cool. DJ, I think you'll think this is pretty cool too, so this is yours now, buddy. And a couple other cool things that are just for you that you'll see when you get this guy back. So anyway, be sure to check out the video coming out very shortly on the making of this little guy right here. I think you guys will really like that, for those of you that like seeing me in the shop videos. What a great knife. Love this. Definitely can't wait to get one of my own. I wish they were in stock right now. I'd already have it ordered. So that's it, guys. One more big thank you to One Time Outdoor DJ Rainer for just showing me this knife, sending it, exposing me to this knife, this steel that I've never seen before. You know what? We should give this one the spotlight. Here we go. Awesome. Hope you guys like seeing it. I know some of you are already familiar with it. I was not. Now I am. Amazing. Amazing. So, you guys are all awesome. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll be back in real soon.